You ain't never had a friend like me. You gotta love that song. What's going on, everybody? This is Ryan A. Polk with the wrap up, and recently saw Aladdin. Well, you already know what Aladdin is about, but of course, the remake. The remake is going to be different than from the original because hey, otherwise there's not going to be no remake. Now, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before in some of my videos, but I am not a fan of reboots for the most part. Whenever I hear something about getting rebooted, or like if a cartoon is getting a remake, I do not be excited because I'm a fan of originals, of the classics, even when it comes to something classic. I mean, now if it's something shitty and they're doing a reboot, okay, then maybe I'll be interested in it. But if you're rebooting something good or a classic, then I don't really be looking forward to seeing it. But and that's how I felt like with Aladdin in that topic because Aladdin, one of my favorite Disney movies. Being a Disney addict that I am, it was definitely something I enjoyed watching all the time. Aladdin is a Disney classic, and that's why I was just wondering, like, okay, man, what are they about to do with this? Because when I saw the trailer, I was very indecisive about seeing this, and and honestly, when I had went to go see this movie, I gotta admit, it had me wrong. This movie is directed by Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie, you had me proven wrong, so excuse the shit out of me for that. And because the movie, it was actually pretty good. It wasn't like how I thought it was going to be. Because when I had saw the trailer, it was just one of those movies where you was just like, I don't know if I really want to see this or not because of how the way the special effects were looking. It looked kind of animated, like you could tell that it was CGI. Like you could see some of the CGI in it where it looked so obvious, and that was one of the reasons why I had to say that. Well, that was one of the reasons that didn't make me want to see it. That did not make me want to see it, and with just how it was, even with the casting. Because I like Will Smith. I'm a Will Smith fan, but I just wasn't too sure about him playing the genie. And then you got the guy who was playing Jafar. Jafar, he's kind of dark and also, stupid as well. Whereas this guy who played Jafar, he was just real boring and stuff. Like in the trailer, he was just like, "Bring me the lamp, or I could make you rich." Like he was just sounded like almost like a robot in a way. Like he had no type of expressions or nothing really. But all that changed when I had saw this movie. And this movie, the storyline, what they did with it, I was impressed with how the way they had switched things up. Because in the remakes, when they don't really, yeah, they do some parts be compared to the original, but you do got some where like the storyline they add a little bit of a mix to it. Well, not so much a mixture, but like they may add something that is totally different from the original, and that's Aladdin. That's what Aladdin did. Some new features that was to it. Even some new songs was added. Like songs, and now the original songs like "Friend Like Me" and "One Jump Ahead," Prince Ali. Prince Ali and "One Jump Ahead." Prince Ali, I have to say, was the one I was really not too impressed with. But "Friend Like Me," now that was pretty good. Even though Robin Williams still killed it, but it was still good. Will Smith did good performing it, and when Aladdin was singing "One Jump Ahead," that was also pretty good too. And how I did like how when they was performing that, how they was still sticking to the original in a way while that was being performed. And don't want to spoil nothing with the Aladdin remake still, but the Aladdin remake, despite the fact that you could tell with some CGI, it still had looked pretty good while watching the movie. I forgot that I was even thinking about that when I was watching the movie because I was entertained by it. And Will Smith, I got to give him his props too. He had me proven wrong too as well because he's actually a good genie. He played a good genie, and and just how the way how he had portrayed the genie, and how he in a way was like doing his own thing, wasn't really trying to be like Robin Williams or anybody. He was just trying to like do things different himself. and I did like that. And with the costumes, some of the costumes in this movie were also good because the when it comes to doing a remake, you do be trying to have like a costume to the original, and the costumes in Aladdin, I did like those. Even I even like Jafar's costume, and even the little snake staff that he had, and the outfits that Jasmine and Aladdin had. Those outfits were nice. Even though the costumes are slightly different, well, kind of made different in a way, it still looks nice. And and then even some of like the other characters, the characters that are not human, like Iago, Abu, and the Cave of Wonders. Although I wasn't really too you know impressed with Iago, and but until like a little bit later on, but but I was kind of I did like how they had a Boo. Boo was terrific in that one. And the Cave of Wonders, though, man, I mean, I don't want to spoil nothing, but the way the Cave of Wonders was, there was something about the Cave of Wonders that I didn't like. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a certain feature of the Cave of Wonders that I was kind of disappointed that they didn't have for him. It was something that he had in the original, but this certain feature of him was not featured in the live action Aladdin. And it was honestly hard for me what to think about for this review, because also, in a way, I felt like I was kind of watching a musical also. I mean, of course, you got the singing, and that reminds me, A Whole New World was also good too. When they was performing that, Whole New World was nice. And now that I think about it, one jump ahead, and Prince Ali, least two impress the least two songs I was impressed with. The ones I was impressed with were A Whole New World and Friend Like Me. And and I like how they kept the concept with that too when they was performing that song. And but although it kind of felt like it was a musical, I mean, I still did not find it boring at all. It wasn't boring, and it also didn't suck. I mean, Guy Ritchie did good with this. I mean, I would have to put this on the list as one of the good live action remakes for Disney. And now for the moment of truth. Should you go see it, or should you wait for it to go to Redbox? Go see it. You should go see it. Go see Aladdin. Now, I mean, now for Aladdin, though, for this movie, because I've mentioned this in one of my reviews, if you have a movie theater where they have a special for a certain day, like $5 on a Monday or a Tuesday somewhere, if they have a $5 special somewhere, then yeah, definitely go see it, or go see it during matinee time. Go see it around that time, because it's definitely entertaining, and it's not boring. If you're a Disney fan, if you're a fan of the movie, I think you will be appealed by it. You will like it. You won't really be too disappointed. Some may, some won't, but I think for the most part, you probably won't be disappointed, as you probably think you will be when seeing the trailer for it and having thoughts about it. So until then, this is Ryan A. Polk with the wrap up, signing off.